know I got you on this one, Coach. It ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The fanatic. But we keep it 100, keep it real. That's the only way we know how to be. Talking that sports talk. You know what I'm saying? Straight out of South Carolina. Upstate, A64. Yeah. The FANATTIC. The fanatic where we keep it OG. We talking sports, so I call what I see. I love the fans like they part of my team. I love the fans like they part of my team. Come rock with me. We got it jumping like it's that valley. I call my dogs out the pound, let's go eat. Turn on the fanatic, let's have a debate. Who really hold down the southeast from state to state? What team hungry gon' eat everything up off they plate? Who the next one that's really gon' step up and be great? Yeah, the FANATTIC. The fanatic where we keep it OG. We talking sports, so I call what I see. I love the fans like they part of my team. Yeah, part of my team. I love the fans like they part of my team. Part of my team. I love the fans like they part of my team. Yeah.
Welcome into the Fanatic Sports Channel for sports fans by sports fans. It's your boy, Coach We back for another episode of Inside the Locker Room with the Dogs, presented by the Tailgate Kings. All right, man, we back in here for another episode, man. The Dogs coming off another victory, still undefeated. A little bit ugly. We'll get into that later, headed into a week where we take on a Conference 4, Week 5, taking on Mizzou. Without further ado, man, let's bring up some of our Dogs in right now, man. We got my guy, two-sport athlete, like I like to call him, man. We got former wide receiver, UGA, and track star, Dad, Shawty Parker. What's going on, Shawty?
What's happening, man? Happy to be here for another week. Once again, ready for all the smoke, because I'm sure some people got some things to say about, last week, whether it be good or bad. Let's get it, man.
That's right, man. And another one of them wide receivers in that room, man, one of the former greats, we got Corey Allen. What's going on, CA?
Hey, man, excited, man. My dog's 4-0, so, not a whole lot to complain about, but we can always get better. That's why we here. That's why we show up every week. We got to get the job done. So excited to be here. Glad to represent for the Dog, and we're going to get this talk going.
That's right, man. Hey, some of our Dogs are running kind of late, but that's all right. We'll get them in once they get here, man. We got some Dogs already in the comments, of course. Always in the comments. Shelby, Go Dogs? What's going on, Shelby?
Go Dogs.
And the man, he was the first one in there, Mr. Mark Martin. He said, "Who that coming down the track? It's some Georgians dressed in red and Dogs dressed in red and black." All right, man. We got the coolest fan in the land. My guy, Cool Cal, is in the building. What's going on, Cal?
What's happening, fellas? Glad to be here. What's going on?
Hey, man, we're good, man. Another win. Moving on to the next week. We got the stat guy.
A whole lot of excitement. We won. Let's just move on.
Hey, man, sometimes you got to, like they do in March Madness, survive in advance. Hey, man, we got a stat guy here. Priest, what's going on, Priest? Dogs on top, ring the bell one more time. That's right. As long as we ringing that bell, everything good, man. As long as we ringing that bell, man. So, hey, man, we're going to start out like we always do, man. We're going to start out with the start bench cut. Hopefully, CA, I did a better job this week. I don't know. I guess I'll find out here in a minute, man. Star bench cut. And what's crazy is JV's not going to be able to join us tonight, but this is the night. I'm like, he bailed out when I pick tight ends. You know what I'm saying? Conveniently. You know what I mean? So we doing Orson Charles, of course, the Dog. And then we got Evan Ingram from Ole Miss and DJ Williams from Arkansas. So we're gonna let while Cal getting this stuff together, we're gonna let Shawty start, man. Shawty, who you got in this start bench cut, bro?
Well, I'm gonna go like this here, man. I'm gonna say this first. No offense to anyone, obviously. I think we always give out this disclaimer, but I got to say it for sure this week because I'm gonna have to cut a dog first.
Oh.
And the reason I cut him, and the reason I'm cutting him, I'm just gonna give you a reason I'm cutting is because a few reasons why I'm cutting. Orson Charles was a hell of an athlete, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think his true position was tight end.
Okay.
But he did a hell of a job at it. He made 2 all SEC teams, 1 first team and 1 second team. But I truly think he was a linebacker. I honestly think he should have played linebacker. That's just me, giving my opinion. So that's why I'm gonna cut Orson. Can you hear me, guys? Y'all still got me?
Yeah, we can. I got you. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna cut Orson Charles. And I'm gonna bench DJ Williams. I got to see him when he was at Arkansas. He was another good player, a great player. I think he benefited from their offense, and he was a good player. So I ain't gonna talk too much about him. I'm gonna bench him, and I'm gonna start Evan Ingram. Now that's a guy who I can't lie. I enjoy seeing him play. He was an explosive guy. I enjoy watching him play, especially in the offense that they had over there at Ole Miss. I mean, he was a fun time to watch him. By far, for me, he would be the starter out of this bunch.
Okay, I can get with that. Good reasoning. CA, man, what you got on this, man? Who you starting?
Hey, Coach, put me backstage, Coach. I think I need to change my my.
Gotcha, dog. All right, CA, while we waiting on Charlotte to get the technical stuff right. So what you got on it, CA?
Well, I think it's a pretty good group of guys you got here together. You know, the tight end position has changed a lot. We went from inline blocking to a lot more perimeter play. But when I look at the careers that these guys had, I'll probably cut DJ Williams because I think he was a system guy, a great player. I can't take that from him, but he thrived in a system that had a chance to do a lot more, highlighting the tight end. On the bench, I got Orson Charles. I think he was the best athlete. I think Thad was right. So, you know, I'm pretty much in line, you know, what Thad has because I've got Evan Ingram starting. He was a playmaker, had a lot of opportunities, played with a great quarterback and a system that did another great job of highlighting his skill set. And he's proven to be the hotter commodity in the long run. So all 3 guys were great, had great careers in the SEC. No slight to Orson Charles at all. Never knew he could play defense potentially. I mean, we all come through with 2 positions in mind, but I really look at Evan Ingram as the better of the batch.
Okay, cool, Cal. What's your thoughts on it, man? The 2 different varying opinions there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm kind of with CA on that. I like Evan Ingram. We start off with that. He was explosive. You know, we're talking about a guy 4'4", and when he gets the ball in his hands, he could get upfield, go score. So I definitely would put him number 1 along with everybody else. And I'm number 2 guy. I'm going with Orson Charles. Orson Charles had a hell of a career. He did some really good things at Georgia. He came in with I'm trying to think quarterback that he played with at the time. Aaron Murray, and I think those guys played together in high school. So I like the chemistry that they had while they were in college. So I got him, and I think he definitely had a little bit of SEC career, but I think he falls a little short of both of those guys.
Okay, I got a different take. So Evan Ingram and Orson Charles was kind of the evolution, kind of like CA alluded to, man, to that new tight end that could, really create mismatches and stuff for linebackers and safeties. And even though DJ of the group, he is the only one that actually won the award. I'm gonna have to put him on the bench because that's not the kind of tight end I like. Like you say, he was a system guy, like CA said, inline blocker more, so he had the better of the stats. But I'm gonna start Orson Charles because Evan Ingram and Orson Charles had similar stats. Like both had 10 touchdowns, both was in the 1,300 range for career. But Orson did it in 3 years. Evan took 4 years to do it. So that's why I'm starting Orson Charles, benching Evan Ingram, and I'm actually cutting the Mackey Award winner, DJ Williams, because that's not the type of tight end that I like in my room. So, hey, but
respectfully,
respectfully. Hey, but he's still a hell of a player. You know what I'm saying? It didn't hurt that he had Darren McFadden in the backfield while people was worried about him. So hey, we got our energy guys in here, man. He was a little late to the party, but former DB at UGA, Erik. What's going on?
Fellas, what's up, man? Sorry I was late, guys. I had to make a little quick
Erik.
trip. What's happening? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. What's happening?
Listen, man, I had to make a quick trip to Athens, man. I dropped off them 2022 Stickum glove. Boy, Lad McConkey gonna be good for the rest of the year, y'all. Y'all ain't got to worry about it. He gonna be good.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? That 2022 model, baby, he good. So
All right, I can cross that off the list.
yeah, cross that off.
Yeah.
I took care of that.
Definitely do that. Definitely do that. We got my guy Shawty back in the building, man. So we were just wrapping up on the start bench cut there, Erik. Let's get your take on it, man. We're talking about Orson Charles, Evan Ingram, DJ Williams, 3 really great tight ends in the SEC. And I think all of us had different reasoning. A couple of us had Thad cut Orson. I started Orson. CA and Cool Cal benched Orson, but they, like I say, they all great tight ends. What you got on it?
All right, so for me, it's really out of the Orson and Evan when we talk about starting, because I think DJ, I heard the end of what you were saying, Coach, and I kind of agree with you on that. So I'm looking at these new age tight ends who are kind of hybrid wide receivers who can, get down the field and make things happen. So with that being said, yeah, I'm going to cut DJ. Yeah. I am pretty much the way we got it lined up here. I'm a bench Evan. I'm gonna go with the dog Orson Charles. I think Evan and Orson, like you said, they were very similar with the numbers. And if it's a tie, I'm going with the dog. So there it is.
There it is, man. So hey, like I say, all these guys are great players, man. That's what I try to do. I try to find great players. DJ actually, like one of the lists I looked up, DJ was like I want to say top SEC the BCS era. He was like number 2. I think him and Aaron Hernandez, Mr. Hey, rest in peace. But
let's leave it there. Let's stay right there with that. I ain't doing that with y'all. Man.
Yeah, they leave that right there.
He was a hell of a tight end. All right, so
all right,
okay.
Shawty, you back with us now, dog?
I think so, man.
All right.
Try to grab him something to drink. Don't let him. Don't go that audio video. You heard that? I heard it on the. Like, I think I'm right.
hey, that's all right, man. Get your.
I got technical difficulties.
Yeah, get your.
I hate folks that know you guys. Dog.
You put you out there too.
Hey, for real, man. Hey, man. Without further ado, man, let's go ahead and talk about Saturday, man. Let's just say this. Hey, it wasn't pretty. I can tell you that. And sometimes you got to win ugly games. But Erik, I'm gonna let you start out, man. Just we're gonna talk about the Dogs' offense first and foremost, okay? And tell me what you liked and what you didn't like about the Dog offense. If there was either, you might have didn't like nothing, you might have liked everything. I don't know.
First of all, let me give you my drama for Saturday. So my wife set me up for failure. She had me take my kids to a doggone birthday party. So I'm in Sparkle's skate ring trying to find the game, running around, little kid chopping me low. I'm falling all down. So anyway, I did find the game finally in the second quarter. That is not what you asked me, but I just had to give you the context here. So in terms of the offense, I mean, we put up numbers. We really weren't stopped. I really don't have any problems with the offense other than Lad McConkey. When the players are there, we got to make those plays. And he's I'm talking about him, I'm picking on him a little bit, but that kid's gonna be big for us down the stretch. He's been big for us, in the last 2 years. So I expect him to bounce back. And in terms, we need to run the ball a little bit better. I'm really, to be honest with you, what I'm not happy about is the offensive line. I really thought that was going to be our strength going into the season, and it has not. I mean, we're pass blocking well, but we are just not. We're not moving men the way we need to move men in the interior, and I just think that has to get rectified.
I'm with you on that, dog. I was about to say you about to gloss over how we ain't run blocking that good. Like, dog, pass blocking, I know we gave up a sack, but normally pass blocking, we kind of there, man. We had a couple of times where they ran some stunts on us and we was confused. But the stalemate at the offensive line, but before I don't know if that's what you're gonna talk about, CA, but just what's your thoughts on not moving folk out the box?
I like that lead in. That was, I'm gonna set
Coach
you up whether you want it or not. Yeah, I need to hear about this line. I'll be honest with you. I mean, realistically, the point of attack is crucial in any regard when you look at what we're going to do on a Saturday in the fall. So, it's definitely something we want to pay close attention to. But I'll be honest with you. I got a lot of faith in that coaching staff on the offensive side, and I have even more faith in that offensive line room. So even though the pieces might not be gelling as quickly as we might like, I have every confidence that when it comes time, they will be there and we will have it right. We will be ready. We really don't have a choice. This was the quintessential trap game, right in between two SEC Eastern Division opponents, an unranked opponent that we, even as a fan base, at 12, we took it lightly. I mean, hey, I cut the game off after the last fumble. I'm just being honest because the game was at 12 o'clock and I didn't want to take myself up and down this roller coaster because it just was that kind of Saturday. And if you ever put that red and black on, you know what it means when I say it was that kind of Saturday. It was just going to be a hard-fought game that we needed to come out on top in. So the point of attack is something I know we're all concerned about. I think we can get better at that. I feel like that's going to be the challenge this week in practice as we look forward to Missouri. But what we put up against Kent State left a lot to be desired. But I do feel like that might have been by design. Coaches can put you in precarious positions on purpose. And I think that might have been the goal of this staff, to challenge this team to see, what can we do against a specific front? Can we overcome adversity when we might ordinarily change the play up? Because one thing we all know is Todd Muckin hadn't rolled out the entirety of the playbook yet. What we've seen in these first 4 games won't matter against Florida, Alabama, or Tennessee. So it's really going to be about the preparation, and we got to make the corrections. But asking or answering that specific point, I think the offensive line will gel nicely as we continue to move forward.
Okay. Is there any other aspect before I get to that, man? Any other aspect of the offense that you concerned about, or not even concerned like it changed your outlook on the season, but just concerned because it's done reared its ugly head a couple of times?
Not necessarily. Again, I don't judge these first 4 games too harshly, especially when I look at, those opponents that aren't, the top tier. I feel like we just got to come out and be clean. We weren't that. So if we can be efficient on offense, I put that on last turnovers. I look at Stetson to be better, but I think we'll get it together. We've got a veteran staff on that side, so I'll look to them to improve.
All right,
real quick, Coach, before you get to that. And the reason why I was saying the offense, you put up 530 yards. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard to be like, So that's why I wasn't too hard on them, but we're putting up numbers, so it's hard to
I think the turnovers were bigger than the point of attack. Even though we have traditionally liked the point of attack to be aggressive, I think the turnovers were the bigger problem.
All right, okay. Your flow, Shouty. My bad.
Okay, Shouty, it's on you, man. What you think? You see anything you concerned about with the offense line or anything else on the offense for that matter? Or you like CA, it's like you don't really judge it, these first couple things like that.
No, I mean, I judge it all. I mean, as I said a few weeks ago, I emphasize, the linemen and the point of attack. They're not aggressive enough at the point of attack. But before I get into, what I don't like, just to kind of echo what some of the guys have already said, I mean, we had over 500 yards. We averaging 42 points a game. So offensively, I mean, if you just look at it from that standpoint, you would think there's really nothing to talk about. And there really isn't. At this point, we're doing the word that we like to use, which is nitpicking. At least that's what I'm doing, is nitpicking. Because one of the same things I said last year, I don't want to put a speed bump in the neighborhood after the child get hit. I want to put it up before the child. So just like I said, South Carolina,
he gave us one right now.
To that game and show in the Kent State game that we can move people out the ball. The thing that concerns me is we're not even moving people off the ball who we consider to be less competition. Yep. Nothing against Kent State. I give them a lot of credit. I think the game plan they had was great. But we're still better than them. And something to CA said, I think is true too, because you have to understand, I don't know if people realize how many different players, how many different people we have played in these first 4 games. Mm-hmm. And I really think a lot of that is by design. I think we're trying to build up depth just because we're such a young team. I think we're trying to build up depth and get people experience for when we actually hit that rocky road in the schedule. Once again, not taking anything away from who we have played, but I don't think there was really any true concerns of losing those games. As bad as the Kent State game was going in a lot of people's mind, I never felt like we was going to lose or in jeopardy of losing.
Me neither.
That's
That's why I stopped watching.
Yeah, to answer your question, Coach, just like the other two guys has said, like I said in the previous pass, we got to get better on the offensive line at the point of attack. We can't let the running backs have to be breaking tackles at the 1 and 2 yard lines of scrimmage or where they're getting the ball. Pass pro, 2 thumbs up. Perimeter blocking, 2 thumbs up. It's very amazing how we are so in contrast. If you go back to our shows from last year to this year, how much contrast there is. Last year we was talking about receivers not blocking well on the perimeter. The offensive line was great. Last year the defense was our strength. Now the offense our strength. On defense, front 7 was the strength. Now the backing. So it's just a contrast. We're a young team. We're still molding and trying to get things together.
Okay,
Agreed.
so let's get to something. What's going on, Dutch? Shout out Go Dogs. He said do you think the O-line rotating is hindering the success? So, I mean, you guys played the game. You could, like him, you could speak to that. I think it could have something to do with it, but I feel like when the starters are in there, I just don't want it to become a trend because I've seen it in all 4 games how we haven't moved anybody up front when it's time to run the ball. And that's why we don't have a lot of those explosive plays. And for one, I think Kendall Milton, he needs to get going. So you need to have those holes. And we good. Like it's like a stalemate when we hike the ball. They don't push us back, but we don't push them back. And we don't climb to the second level or none of that. And I don't want to get to the point like that, say, you don't want to put the speed bump down after the problem happens. You know what I'm saying? I want to make sure you can't just turn it on. Well, we can just turn it on when we play Tennessee. We can just turn it on when we play Florida because the next 3 opponents ain't great either. So it's, you know what I'm saying? So it's not like you're going to go out there and be like, okay, now we got to play good because they about as bad as or worse than the first 4 we done played. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you can't start rotating until somebody separate themselves. So until they get that done, it's going to be a rotation, whether we like it or not. And I think, it's really about making sure we have the best 11 on the field. So I don't know if we got there yet. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'll wait till you finish. I'm going to be honest with you, and I don't know if that's just been a focal point establishing the run either. Because we throwing the ball on first and second down on most drives anyway. And
I like it. We give them what we ask for. Yeah. So we can't have it both ways as a fan. We can't be everything at once.
Right.
Exactly. Okay. So I don't even know if we done made that a focus to just that's just like even, there were times like last year, once again, the contrast. Once we got up on people, we would put the second and third team in and hand the ball off.
Hand it off.
We ain't doing that. We still putting it in the air. We running the offense.
That's our best bet.
I go back to something one of our guests said, it was Kirby. He was talking about how the transfer portal work, how these guys want to get time. I'm not saying that has anything to do with it, but that was a great point. And I actually see a difference in what we're doing now when we put our second and third strings in. We run the offense. We still throwing. We're not just handing the ball off. So once again, I think we just building the depth into CA point. A lot of the things that we doing, we got to give these coaches credit. Could be by design.
Well, that's what I was just about to say, because CA did bring up a good point that I didn't think about with the offensive line rotating. Initially, I just think it was just to build depth. So let's just build some depth. But CA said until somebody separated itself. So y'all think that's what it is? Like we rotating. I would say the tackle and the centers, we good with them. I think Amirius Mims is subbing in with Warren McClendon because of the whole transfer. We got to keep Big Boy happy. But them guards, we play 4 guards. You know what I'm saying? And now that CA say that, like maybe the guards ain't separating themselves. I mean, is that what you think it is, E-Rob?
Yeah. So the scuttlebutt kind of going into the season was we had 4 guys at the 2 guard positions, and there was like 1A and 1B. So what CA says is pretty much playing itself out. They haven't. No one's really separated themselves, and I personally believe that it's a little bit by design. I think early in the season the coaches want to play a lot of people, and as we get down and into the nitty-gritty of the season, we'll kind of shorten that rotation and kind of tighten things up a little bit. And it's when you're able to do that, that's when you got a really, really strong team, when you're able to kind of play around and do things like that and kind of build things during the season. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to overreact when you're putting up I want production. And we are producing. So you know what I'm saying? So that's really all I don't care how you do it. Just put up 500 yards and 40-some points. And if we do that, that's going to give us a great chance to win. And that's really all I care about.
So basically the turnovers is all we really, want to focus on from Saturday is what y'all saying.
And that was the law of averages. I think we went through the first 3 games and didn't really turn the ball over at all. So I just think the law of averages kind of caught up with us. And I think
that's just a lack of focus, man. You can catch the ball 10 out of 10 times.
That's what I say.
You can bring the ball 10 times without fun. And there's just a lack of focus. I mean, clearly the turnover. I mean, if you watch the film, the man in the end zone, he just thought he was gonna get his wig split. That was just a lack of focus. Of catch the ball. You know what I'm saying?
I'm with that too, man. I feel like I don't know. I mean, I get what you're saying, Rob, about the law of averages, man. But like, dog, you can't focus. You don't fumble the punt and drop the pass. It's like
he did all that in one quarter. He did all that in one. Dog, you can't even.
That's focus.
That is focus. That is focus. No doubt. But people fumble. We're gonna have fumble. That's gonna happen. I mean, that's football.
Oh man, that was 12 o'clock on a Saturday. That man went out Friday night. We all human. Everybody done it. It just don't cost me no ball game, like.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. He did not cost us a ball game. Like I say, I just want to make sure we ain't going out because we apparently they don't want Georgia to flex the new lights in the stadium because we ain't getting no night games. We playing a lot of 12 o'clock games. I don't want fool around Tennessee rolling here at 12 o'clock, lad out partying or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? We need lad.
They're gonna be prime time game. Tennessee.
They'll be up.
Yeah, we through with 12. We got to be done with that one.
We done with 12. Yeah, we done.
I'm tired of the 12 o'clock.
Trying to run a program over here, man. 12 o'clock.
Hey, Coach, you playing against Kent State at 12 o'clock. Believe me, as you going out there on the field, you think about what you're going to do after the game.
It is rough.
Me and Shawty
you can see your people.
Yeah, you think about yeah, you. I'm going to see you a little later.
Yeah, you gonna play the game. You're gonna say what's up to the family for a couple of hours. Cause you finally get a little bit more time with them. Then when they ship on out, it pregame for the next thing.
And you know this.
Oh, okay.
Gotta be better.
Hey, we definitely.
It was just focus, man. It happens, it's focus. You know what I mean?
Yep.
What Shelby say? Lad went out Friday. Does Athens still have nickel night? Hey,
boy, nickel night damn near did me in, boy.
I don't know if they got nickel night no more. They might, but we'll like y'all say. Hopefully, we don't have no more 12 o'clock games. Period.
And look, Lad was by himself.
We played that trash.
On Lad, he didn't go out by himself.
Oh yeah, now Lad wasn't the only one. Now,
man, I don't care if you go out, just don't be dropping the ball, man. That's all.
We.
He'll learn.
That's what I'm saying. Like, hey, I got C-Rob in the comments. Go, dog. He say playing that trash early. Yeah, man. I don't like playing them early games, man. It's like y'all say like that. Say you start thinking about y'all as players, man. Y'all start thinking about what we about to get out here early. Yep. What can we get into?
You know what? That's really it's just a double-edged sword. That's the true college experience. Get a real SEC game in about 12, 2 o'clock. You done. And you got a whole campus waiting on you to get out here and partake. It's a slippery slope. It's a slippery slope.
Normally Saturday night you playing the game, so when you get by the time you get done, it's time to go home, get in bed. You sore,
but you ain't got but one gear, so you going so fast. If you playing catch up, usually you get out at 2. You like,
I'm doing it. I got a whole nother. I got 6 o'clock free. I ain't coming in the house till probably about 4, 5 in the morning.
You know,
thirsty too.
Yeah, very thirsty.
That's what C-Rod said. Might have been a big party Friday night, and they was ready. So hey,
it happened.
Long as the focus is there when we needed to be there, and it don't cause us. So just up until this point in the season, Cool Cal, we're gonna get you in on just up until this point in the season, man. What you thinking about that offense? We rotating a lot of guys, and you pleased with everything?
For the most part, man, I was listening to you guys backstage. Like Shawty was saying, man, we averaging over 500 yards of offense, 42 points a game. We can't be mad at that. But what I'm most impressed with is, when it counts, when we do have those big time games or perceived big time games, we've shown up. We've been big time on both sides of the ball. I think that we can obviously go back. We can nitpick things. I think the things is our run blocking. Maybe it could be a little bit better. But on the flip side of that, our pass blocking is phenomenal. We sit back, Stetson has all day to scan the field, get the ball to his playmakers. And like CA was saying, man, goddamn, now that we wide open, now we want to complain. Well, damn, we can't get the 3 yards in the cloud of dust no more. So which one do we want? Either we want to be explosive, average a bunch of points, be wide open, be athletic on the perimeter.
We want it all. We want it all.
Yeah. We want to bang our head 60 times a game.
We like Kirby. Kirby say we can always get better. There's always room for improvement. That's all we want, man. But, on the flip side of the ball, man.
Real quick, Coach, I wanted to say this. I'm sorry to cut you off. What I wanted to say is I'm kind of glad that we do have those kinds of games because I think from a coaching staff's mentality, it brings us back that next week to really get on the guys to be like, you're not that damn good. Yeah, we gotta focus on those little things. And I think that's the type of, I'm sure, hard practice week that we're gonna have this week getting ready for an SEC game.
Kirby is loving this. He is loving this because I'm sure he's preaching to him. Y'all think y'all done made it. You haven't. You know what I'm saying? Right. Here's the tape to prove it. Play to the standard. Play to the standard. Play to the standard. All right, that's it. And hopefully it'll sink in. Yeah.
Kirby said some of the same stuff right after the game. Phil Shanks in the comments. What's going on? Somebody cousin. I don't know which one of y'all. I guess that's dad. That's your cousin, dog.
Yeah, that's my cousin. Big dog.
That is. Hey.
Shout out to your cousin.
That's what's up. That's what. Go Dogs. All right, man. On to that defense, man. So uncharacteristically, now some of that was because of the muff punt, but we still gave up a touchdown and some field goals. We gave up 22 points to Kent State. I don't know if we didn't give up 22 points all last year. I don't think outside of the SEC championship. What we thinking on that, E-Rod? What's going on? We had some people out of place. Lassiter. I'm not going. Lassiter. Yeah, he wasn't by himself. Yeah, there was some people out there that was out of place, man. What you thinking on that defense?
Of course, like you said, the turnovers put us in a tough situation. But the one thing I really did not like about the defense on Saturday is they were able to run the ball. Little number one was able to run the ball, and there were some lanes, and I really didn't like that. I know that we didn't have some of our top guys, and I know that Jalen didn't play. But, man, we have to find a way we can't give up the run. I don't care who we play against. We cannot give up the run. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. You cannot give up the run. Other than that, I think we did okay. If we didn't have those turnovers, I think, they would have had definitely a harder time scoring. So it is what it is.
Okay. Dad, what you thinking on that defense, man? Where are the areas we need to improve, or is it some of the same thing, man? We good.
Hey, man, there were some guys playing some poor technique. I mean, you don't throw out a screen and you give up outside leverage twice.
Yes, no.
Like once again, that's focus and having and one of them wasn't a young guy, the old head 2'9". I was safe. I mean, we just had a lack of focus, man. You don't even practice that way. Mm-hmm. So those kind of things concern me. Once again, we can chop it up to a 12 o'clock game and be honest. I'm hoping that's all that it was because we haven't seen that type of behavior in the past. But we have seen a pattern now. But once again, it was another 12 o'clock game that we have played two lesser opponents and not just seem all the way dialed in, which is something that we used to always give them credit for. So I don't, I'm not going to speak anymore on it. Once again, we don't have any more 12 o'clock game. That's over. To E-Rod's point, they did gash us. But at the end of the day, at this point in the season, just like last year, we was giving up 5 points, only 8 points this year. And we figured there would be some type of drop off. When you look at the whole big scheme of thing in the picture,
Agreed.
they're not really playing bad defense. We had a lot of new faces, a lot of new bodies in there. So, you know, a lot of new things. So things are going to happen. So I'm really not concerned about defense at all. But just some things that concern me was, once again, we didn't get those sacks. I did see the pressures. And I hated that we had to actually send 5 and 6 to get those pressures against that front. I also think, once again, we didn't have our, you know, first lineup in there all the time either. So it's a lot of give and take. I really don't take much from this game. It was good to get it. It was good to get the victory. Not a lot of injuries, and honestly, I'm really over them, to be honest.
Yeah. CA, I'm pretty sure you in that bucket too. Like, you moved on to the next game already. Anything we done missed so far as that defense, because we did get up 90 yards, man. I think he might have got the most rushing yards out of anybody we done played the last year and a half.
Yep.
I tell you what, man, everything you tell me is gonna be news, because like I told you, I got up out of there around first or second quarter and saved myself the stress. So yeah, you know, hey, whatever happened, we gotta be better. I hope we win this week.
Yeah, man, it's really, it's just, you know, as a player, and you know, it's just really hard to take much from that game. You know what I'm saying? It was good for them to come in and get a check, but games like that don't really do much for us in terms of evaluating from a fan standpoint. It really is more for, you know, to get a bunch of other people in, get them to play. But from a fan standpoint, you can't get much out of it.
Stay healthy.
You'll be praised to get too high, too low.
That right there was my next thing. Just to move on a little bit, staying healthy. I was watching AD Mitchell on the sideline, man, and Kirby at the beginning of the week last week had said he was, questionable or whatever the status was. Like, I saw him hobbling. He looked like he out the next 2 weeks too. Like, he didn't look like he was close to being back in at all. Now that could have just been him trying to overcompensate and not do something. Yeah, like he was when it was a pass to Kamari Lassiter's side, and Kamari to do it. When the guy broke free and then the quarterback overthrew him like 40 yards or whatever. He was right there like cheering on the guys, but he was like, it was a bad lip. I don't know. I don't know if he was like overcorrecting just so he wouldn't get hurt anymore, but I'm like, I kind of want that dude back when we have to get in that nitty gritty when we play Florida.
Even in regular clothes?
No, he
had jersey on and some jogging pants.
Okay. Yeah, you know who did dress out though? Arian Smith. They say
Arian Smith
and
so CJ Smith, the super speed
fast dudes. Yep.
Yeah. So I get it. All right, man. So hey, we are enough of Kent State. Let's go on to Mizzou, man.
Out of here.
We gotta take on them Tigers, man. So hey, Cool Cal, talk about our mental going against the Tigers, who I'm pretty sure the players know that the Tigers ain't that good, or at least they have it. Their results don't say they are. You know what I'm saying? So how we getting focused for the Tigers for a night game in Mizzou?
You got to put a cord in.
All right.
Cord in.
We'll put them back in. We'll put them back. All right. One game at a time, CA. This is the next game on the slate. You know what I'm saying? It's night game in Mizzou, like you said. No more 12 o'clocks, man. We prime time in a place I've been to that's not that great. I'm just gonna let you know. But how can we stay focused this Saturday, man, for this conference game?
I hate to say it'll be relatively easy, but I think we've got what we want in front of us. We got an opponent that's not very strong, that is still a representative in our league. So Kirby and the staff is going to make sure that we understand as players, this is an SEC opponent. So we need to go in here because all of our goals rely on us coming out of the East. And Missouri could be Florida, could be Tennessee, could be anybody. They're the SEC East. So I'm anticipating these players to have that razor sharp focus, especially looking at the taste that was left in our mouth after last week against Kent State. So we got a lot to prove on defense. Because I'm sure Missouri got that same film. We got a lot to prove on offense because, we showed that we aren't perfect. They're going to want to know, is Georgia really strong at the point of attack, and can we be consistent in the passing game? So I expect Missouri to take some chances and try to challenge us when they're on defense to see if our offense can be efficient. I expect my defense to slam the door and keep it shut on Missouri's offense all night. So even though it's not an even matchup, I think Georgia will be extremely focused.
Okay, Shelby say we need to destroy Mizzou. Okay. Speaking on that, Thad, what you want to see out of the Dogs this week? You man, going into it, coming off of that lackluster performance. What you trying to see out of the Dogs this weekend?
I honestly think we're gonna take whatever happened the past previous 4 weeks that were not good out on them. To be honest, I really see us putting up another 40 or 50 banger on these guys. I'm gonna be honest with you. I really think we're going to beat them pretty bad. And it ain't going to have so much to do with how bad they are. I think we're going to come out and show pretty much that we are the number one team. We're going to show that we're locked back in. We're going to have a lot of guys back, and we're going to have a lot of guys back making plays. I really think we're going to take it out on those guys. I think we're going to go on a run once again to prove that we are the number one team.
Okay. Anything Mizzou like E-Rob that you looking for us to take very serious, or you just like go in and do them in and get out of Columbia as fast as we can?
Well, much like I said after the last cupcake we played, we didn't play really good against them. And I was like, whoever we play next, it doesn't matter who it is, gonna catch one. And it just happened to be South Carolina. And I think it's the same thing gonna happen here. The tape doesn't lie. We won, by 17 points, but Kirby's on them as if we lost the game. They're gonna come out ready to play. It's the SEC East, and you said it when you were setting this up. It's a night game. You know what I'm saying? When you play in these games and you know everybody watching, you want to put on for the city, and I expect them to do that. So, you know what I'm saying? Like that, I expect them to come out and put something on Missouri, and they just the next person. They just happen to be there. It really wouldn't matter who it is.
Yeah, and we 27.5-point favorites. I know some betting people out there that was mad we didn't cover last week, but I'm like y'all, man. That was some people that was mad and they didn't cover that. I was like, that was a big spread, but I think y'all right, man. I think we're gonna come out and cover that 27.5. One way or the other, you know what I'm saying? Whether we got the scores 50-60 or we hold them to 0 like we've been doing, you know what I'm saying? I think we will do that. So I ain't got much to say about Mizzou.
SEC game kind of locked back in. I mean, we had 2 party weeks out of 4. You don't normally get that. It's time to lock back in now.
Yep. It is definitely, like I say, because the upcoming 3 is Mizzou, then Auburn. Then Vandy, then Auburn. No, Auburn and Vandy. So it's all running together. They all look like the same team, different colors on.
It don't matter.
So yeah. So I'm needing. I'm hoping we back focused. Like y'all was saying earlier. Hey, it's a night game, so they can't be thinking about what they're gonna do afterwards. They in Columbia, Missouri. It's gonna take a minute to get back to Athens. So all they got to do is focus on that game all day, man. Tell me, before we move on to some questions from the commenters or things of that nature, y'all as players, man, a night game away, how does that differ from a night game at home? Go with you, CA.
It's going to be loud, and it's not in your favor. I mean, you're going into a true hostile environment. Night games on the road, that's when the SEC really rears its head. That's when the fan base has a chance to participate. That's when you have to really be prepared for the environment and the atmosphere just as much as that team you're playing on the other side of the field. So night games in the SEC on the road, a lot of fun because there's nothing like quieting a crowd, but it won't start that way. So, these guys are going to have to be prepared. This will be the best that Missouri can present. They're going to have recruits in the building because the number one team is in town, baby. And you got to show it off, even if it ain't in your favor. So we'll have to overcome the fact that they'll be extremely excited in their building. They want to put on their best face for their fans and their recruits, and it's up to us to muck it up.
Yeah. Pat, anything you didn't like about play? I know y'all know prime time is when a lot of athletes like to play anyway, but is there anything you didn't like about playing prime time on the road?
Yeah. I mean, me personally, it was just the travel. Ain't nothing convenient than being at home. You know what I mean? Once it's over with, I can just hop on the bus and get back to the bus mill and, you know what I'm saying, and get back to the MAC and be ready to get into whatever I'm trying to do. But other than that, I mean, other than the conveniency is, I mean, the schedule changes a little bit. You know what I mean? A lot of things change. I mean, it's a little bit more controlled.
Yeah.
Because you're on the road and you get a lot more time to, you got more meetings. Meetings may be a little bit longer. You might have to get taped a little earlier. Just things like that goes behind the scenes that a lot of people may not see. But ultimately, in terms of when a game comes, it's really not a big difference to me, other than, like CA said, you have to deal with the crowd. But the best thing about them is shutting them down.
Yep. Ain't nothing like it.
I was just about to ask E-Rob, man, what's the best part of playing on the road, especially in prime time?
That's it, man. When you go out there in prime time and it's quiet and you can hear all your teammates, all you can hear is us, all you can hear is the dogs talking, ain't nothing better than that. Ain't nothing better than that. But the worst thing being on the road in a night game is just how much time you're sitting around before the game. It just seems like you're sitting around forever. It just, time is going by so slow. So that's the only thing, and you about to damn just anxiety, just ready to do something. But but yeah, I hopefully Missouri, I hope they have a really great Saturday. I hope they tailgate and have a great time right up until kickoff, and then hopefully it all goes to hell at that point.
Yeah.
For them. You know what I'm saying? So enjoy your Saturday. Get out, drink, Missouri people. Have a great time.
Early.
And get your face kicked in at 7:30.
That's right. I'm with y'all, man. I hope we go. I want to go to Columbia and leave a mark. You know what I'm saying? I'm still listen, I still don't like the whole the old man football comment from 2012. I'm still hanging on to that. Every time we play,
you're right.
Yeah,
You're
every time we play them, I'm like, listen, you remember in 2012 when you said that dumb stuff? Like, we're gonna punish you every time, and I've been loving it because we only lost to Mizzou one time, so I'm loving that, man. Before anybody in the comments got any questions? Let's get them in now before we get to wrapping up this show. I do want to ask y'all, just go around the panel quickly, man. Who we think challenging nationwide? We normally don't do that, but nationwide, we're looking at those 4 games, like those 3 games, like Thad said. And when we get to that playoff, we gonna get, like I'm speaking it. You heard that, right? When we get to that playoff, who y'all thinking we might end up seeing? Start with you, E-Rob.
I think we're gonna see Ohio State.
Okay.
We're probably going to see Bama. Bama's probably going to be there, and then that last one, that's
the one.
That's the one. Because me personally, I don't believe in USC. I think that they're a year or two away, and I think that it's going to bear itself out as the season plays on.
Okay.
But they could be the one. This is that wild card. I don't really know how that last one's going to fall.
Team?
Who?
I said an ACC team.
ACC.
I don't know. I mean, the only one that really has a chance is Clemson, and I don't think they're not that good to me. I think they're gonna get knocked off somewhere around the. I hope it is ACC team because we're gonna be in the playoffs and we'll smack any of them. So bring them on, yeah.
Listen, that 4th team is hard. Before I let CA go, man, that 4th team is hard. Now, man, Chowder had us a conversation, I think, on one of my live streams on Saturday, man. Listen, it's crazy, but it might not be that crazy if you see 2 SEC teams versus 2 Big Ten teams. That's all I'm saying.
No, they're not gonna do that. That's not gonna happen. I hear you, but they're not gonna do that, Coach.
See it.
It's crazy. It's crazy, but I think the top 4 is right now. I think they got it right with Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State, and Michigan as of today. Outside of that, I might be a little contrary. I think USC might have a chance to come out of the Pac-12 because the division is weak. They got a great quarterback, and they got a coach that wants to get there just as bad as anybody. So that temptation, or not temptation, but that tempo in practice is at a high pace. He understands what it takes. He was embarrassed a couple of times, in that playoff scenario. So, he wants to make sure if he gets the opportunity, the SC would take advantage of it. So I'm keeping my eye on SC. I don't have faith in Clemson. Just like E-Rob said, there ain't nothing in the ACC that concerns me. maybe I don't know if it's Oklahoma State or Oregon State. One of those old state teams. I'm keeping
Oklahoma
a close eye
State.
on.
Yeah,
Oh,
they got a huge game this Saturday playing. It's a rematch of the Big 12 championship. Baylor, Okie State. Dad, what you got on it, man? That fourth team is always the hardest one, man. But somebody might,
what you got?
Somebody might win by default, though. Y'all, you say Pac-12, ACC ain't good, but somebody might end up being undefeated by default.
Yeah,
I see two. I see two SEC teams making it again. And I see USC possibly making it. If not USC, for sure Oklahoma State.
Okay. So you say Ohio, so it'll be like them two battling for that fourth spot, right?
Right.
Okay, State.
Gotcha.
It's just about who's gonna come undefeated out of their conference. If they're both a one-loss team, I don't know who they take. Flip-flop.
Two SECs.
Hey guys,
based off the strength of schedule, they probably would take the Big 12 or Big 10 or whatever it's called. Because Pac-12 don't have a lot of strong teams over there.
Guys, in the Big 10, Ohio State and Michigan gonna play each other, right? So wouldn't that kind of effectively knock one of them out?
But that's why we got Ohio State. We already said Ohio State.
Yeah, but I was
right,
he was saying, talking about my point about the two Big 10 teams.
You ain't gonna get both.
I don't think it's gonna happen either. Okay.
So I mean, I can see. I guess because I look at the Big 12, the Pac-12, the ACC, like maybe they have a one loss winner, but they could easily have a 2-loss winner. And I mean, if only loss Michigan got is Ohio State, and they pummeling everybody else. I don't know.
You got to at least say something to them. I think they'll get a chance if that's the case.
Yeah, like
that's
I mean,
and they got to lose close.
Huh?
You said a 2-loss team?
Not a 2-loss team in the playoffs. 2-loss team could happen in the Big 12 that wins the Big 12, which would cancel them. That's what I was saying.
Okay, I got you.
USC, Oregon, and Utah and Washington could do a round robin. They could do 2-loss.
That's what usually happens, actually. That's what usually happens over there.
And so they cancel everybody. And then, and you got Clemson. I mean, honestly, Clemson could lose to NC State this weekend. And then, they still got to play. They still got to play Notre Dame. They still got to play. I know Florida State's undefeated. I mean, I ain't saying they're gonna lose to them, but it's the ACC.
So the ACC didn't have a representative last year, right? We had two SEC. We had two SEC, Big 10,
and a group of five.
Cincinnati.
And see the group of 5 right now. BYU was that hope, but they lost to Oregon.
They lost.
Cincinnati was that. That's what I'm saying. Cincinnati was the hope. They lost to Arkansas. So, it's like you ain't putting nobody else in. So, like if Michigan drumming everybody and then they lose a close one in overtime to Ohio State and everybody else got 2 losses.
That's interesting.
I think the only problem happening, I guess it's going to be because, I guess they rank with 3 and 5 right now, 3 and 4 right now.
3 and 4. 3 and 4.
And if they both went out into that particular time, then
like I said, a lot of stuff got to happen.
They're gonna have to be acknowledged, a
lot of stuff got to happen. But I'm like, I think they got the 4 as of today. They got the 4 right. You know what I'm saying? The 2 Big 10 teams and the 2 SEC teams.
I just don't think they would do this if you got. It's a bunch of ifs in the option.
Yeah.
If one of them got a loss, they'll take the champion. But they won't take it over undefeated Pac-12 champion.
Yeah, no. I don't think that.
I don't think nobody.
I don't think so.
Pac-12.
I just don't. That's what I'm saying. I think they could take.
Or ACC. They won't take it over undefeated ACC champion either.
Yeah, I don't see neither one of them going undefeated. I guess that's the thing. And I think if it's a 1-loss,
but you're right though, Thad.
Yeah, you're right. I feel like if any Power 5 going undefeated, they get
you deserve a look. Whether we like it or not.
Right.
Yeah, they get in.
So just to make conversation. I think we got 2-3 minutes left, 4-5 minutes left.
Yeah, we're good.
So just a conversation then. So do you take an undefeated, like you say, Power 5 ACC or Pac-12 over 1-loss Georgia, Alabama?
Well, I'm glad you said that because I was going to tell y'all the stat guy scenario was he told me, what if I think it still can happen. Yeah, it can. ACC undefeated champion, Big 10 undefeated champion, Pac-12 undefeated champion, Big 12 undefeated champion, Alabama, Georgia go undefeated, and then somebody losing the SEC championship. Is Alabama and Georgia in?
No.
Yeah, that kind of scenario.
Yeah.
No.
That's what
It's too many undefeated teams. The one loss team.
But look, guys, if we play each other in the SEC championship, as things are set right now, we gonna both be ranked 1 and 2.
1 and 2, yeah.
And then you lose to the number 1 or number 2 team.
Right. Right.
So that's what I'm saying. Like who the
But hey, you gotta get penalized at some point, baby. You lost. You lost. And the undefeated team still undefeated. I can't penalize them.
Lose. Exactly. Yep.
So hey, your league wanted a championship game. There you go.
Was that scenario at all? Well, we had 2 1-loss teams that made.
Yeah. There was one year. I want to say it was Clemson.
But when they put Alabama in and when they played LSU.
Yep.
That year had no business.
Yep.
No business.
That was a courtesy move.
And what you hate is I just thought it's 5 Power 5 conferences. Even in that scenario we just talked about, let's say, we beat Alabama, we undefeated. Now all 5 Power 5 conferences is undefeated.
Somebody's still out. Somebody's
still gonna be out.
And it go back to this too, Coach. I'm not trying to jump track, but go back to what I was saying earlier, another conversation we had. At the end of the day, their motto ain't about putting an undefeated team. It's to get the best 4 teams.
And that's the problem because they haven't done that every year either.
And
that is the motto.
Listen, with that, you can't, like, if we talking about the best teams, we beat an undefeated Alabama in the SEC championship.
We right back to the top 4 we got.
Still better than an undefeated Pac-12 or Big 12,
Yeah, we are.
Yes.
Now we talking about the eyeball test. Now here go these factors.
The schedule says that too, because both of us gonna probably have played, 3 to 4 top, 20 teams at that point. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What's up?
So
Kirby?
What's going on, Kirby? Yep.
And that happens every year too. You're right.
Shelby say the NCAA about money, so it'll be about what fan base gonna travel.
Well, that's the SEC.
The SEC champion, as long as it's 1 loss, the SEC champion's in. The other guys.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think SEC Big Ten champion undefeated. They in.
Yes.
It's the other 3 conferences that's gonna have to fight for it.
Duke it out. Yep.
Yeah. So
hey man,
we just started laughing like.
Hey, shout out to the stat guy. I need to see your video on Saturday. You know what I'm talking about.
Uh-oh.
Hey, so the stat guy says the pecking order is SEC, Big 10, Big 12, ACC, Pac-12. That's the pecking order. I don't know. I think because Clemson done won 2, they might be ahead. ACC might. If Clemson was the undefeated team, they might be a little ahead of the Big 12. I don't know.
They have some cachet. They have some.
You got a little deposit in the bank already with the CFP. You know what I'm saying? CFP don't believe. CFP don't believe in Pac-12. You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
I don't believe in the Pac-12.
But you're right, but I barely believe in the ACC more than them. Like, it's just Clemson.
I was gonna say that, like if it's an undefeated, like I don't know who else. Pitt, I know Pitt ain't undefeated. That's what I'm saying. If it's an undefeated Florida State, they just want to see them there. North Carolina State. If it's an undefeated North Carolina State, do they get in?
You going home? You going home? It ain't enough.
You need more people.
So you got to get your heart broke one time. Yo, I'm here. We speaking from experience. You gonna get your heart broke first.
Like Cincinnati did. Then they was able to get in, but you got to get your heart broke.
Yeah. I think if a USC out west, I think if the Trojans undefeated NC State.
Oh, they'll walk them in.
They getting them in because of Lincoln Riley been there.
Absolutely.
And it's USC.
You got cachet. They're gonna travel.
It sound better. USC, North Carolina State.
What you doing?
Or you gotta get your brand.
Get your brand up, Charlie.
We sending folks home. They ain't lost a game. We just sending them home.
Hey man, it's hard, but it's fair.
Everybody can't get in the club even though you got ID. You know what I mean?
Just saying. In the dress code. That ain't it.
You need some different shoes on, dog, before you get in. That's right, man.
Come here with no athletic gear.
No hoodies and ball caps, baby.
Not up in here, baby.
NC State got Tim's on.
Yeah,
you got to wear them hard bottoms up
because they do snow up there. Kirby Town say Oregon and Washington have made it from the Pac-12. Who else? That's it. Oregon made it once. Washington made it once. Washington made it in the very first one, I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, and got beat by Bama.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, hey, Pac-12, listen, they got that's the crazy thing. They have to go undefeated to even have a chance. They can't lose no games. You know what I'm saying? At least in the SEC and the Big Ten, there's still hope for you.
We got to go undefeated.
Yep.
God, do we have any predictions for next week?
We'll get some. Yeah, we'll get some predictions. Dutch, you say Luther Burden. Oh yeah, he may be out this week and in the portal.
What?
Already?
There was some rumblings about that. Now, listen, Twitter ain't end all be all, but he did say on Twitter, told the Mizzou fans to calm down. But in my experience, when I see him say calm down, that means they are about to hit the portal. Oh. So, he was apparently unhappy. I don't think he ain't getting the ball enough or something like that. You know, he was the number one wide receiver.
It's been 2 games, though. How many games did they play?
They played 4.
They couldn't throw it to him enough when they play us that week. He can't catch enough.
You know, he making a building decision. That's what this is. You know what? Y'all ain't finna get me killed. I'm just getting up out of here.
Yeah. So if he don't play, it won't be a shocker. If he do, I won't be shocked that way either way. But yeah, he was kind of unhappy, kind of like what's his name, Keyshawn Butte at LSU. When they played Florida State, if you watch the second half, like dude wasn't even running his full route. He was just jogging out there. He's like, man, y'all don't want to throw me the ball. I ain't running hard. I ain't no decoy.
His camp fault. What you go to Mizzou for? That's you and your camp fault.
We was on them hard too.
We wanted him. Like we
was on him hard.
Yep. Yeah. Speaking of E-Rob, you keep up with recruiting before we get out of here. We got us a wide receiver today. Tyler Williams in the Miami.
Oh, we got him?
Yeah, the Miami people are so mad. Yeah, the Miami people are so mad. They was like, that's what happened when you lose to MTSU. I'm like, hey, man, it is what it is.
Now, this dude right here is big. I think he about 6'4", 6'5", and really fast.
Yeah. Like it was a battle. I'll let you get NCAA here in a minute. It was a battle between us and Miami. Clemson was kind of like right there on the outside, but maybe MTSU put the nail in the coffin. I don't know. Shelby say Luther Burden scrubbed off all his Instagram stuff. Along with Twitter. Okay, what you gonna say, CE? My bad.
Man, I was just thinking about some games this past weekend, and this is actually kind of random, but it was a player I saw that I was looking at, Brock Bowers and how he gives us what we need. Virginia, did anybody watch Virginia, or does anybody, Coach, I know you've seen Virginia. Who is this number 99? That kid, like 6'7", and they got him playing wildcat, wide receiver,
what you hate
cornerback.
He came into college as a quarterback at Mississippi State, and then he transferred. Yeah.
Oh, wow. The transfer portal undefeated, ain't
it? Yeah. He moved to wide receiver. Now he out there. He about the only thing they got. They quarterback.
Yeah, he a one-man game.
Yeah, that's why they lost the Old Dominion.
Well, they gonna lose every game, but he gonna get his. That was all my bad. I got sidetracked. My bad.
Nah, man. But there will be. Hey,
I was just gonna say, I was watching some games too, man. I'm gonna tell you, man. I think me and Coach talked about it a little bit. Man, I'm telling you what, man. Kentucky, they think they slick, man. They run a whole bunch of 12 personnel too, man. They trying to muscle around
looking like little Athens.
They got to check Kentucky out, man. See what they're doing on offense, man. They look very familiar.
Yeah, it looks like a little Athens.
Okay, they
listen, Stat guy say Syracuse. Syracuse, they all right. I mean, they don't play.
Don't do that. Come on. Man.
Yeah, come on now.
Syracuse.
Yeah.
Well,
please. We talking about
they better than what they were. They were 0-12. Now they. Come on now. Yeah. They got better.
Top, man.
Yeah, cut
All
it
right.
out.
You better than that, that guy.
You better than that, dog. Come on now. Syracuse.
man.
Don't ever say that
Listen.
on our show. Ever.
All right, let's get
My
some
hoop team.
predictions, man. Let's get some predictions. I like it because last time somebody predicted us beat Oregon like 40-something to like 7, and it came true. So let's get some predictions for this Mizzou game, man. We'll start with you, E-Rob. Go ahead and give us what you think, dog.
As I previously stated, we didn't play well against whoever we just played this week. And it's just that whoever's next is going to catch one. Happens to be Missouri. And here's how this is going to play out. We're going to put up about, I'm going to say 48-10. 48-10.
There it is. 48-10.
What's the spread?
27.5.
Yeah. Okay, so
you covered it going away. You ain't even got to worry about it.
There it is.
All right. Stat guy say it's going to be 55-3 UGA. All right. And Shelby say 45-3. All right.
Okay.
CA, what you got on it, dog?
52-9.
Damn.
52-9.
Damn.
3 field goals hard way. The hard way.
Let's
It's
go.
gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. You gonna just what you say?
Beat the chest, baby.
Relax. Just relax. It's gonna hurt.
Hey, don't fight it. Don't fight it.
Just relax.
Missouri getting that prison love. We'll see you sad. 52-9, coach.
Hey, it's about time to go.
All right, Shawty, what you got on the predictions, man?
44-10.
44-10. All right, 44-10. Kirby Town say Kirby only giving the worst prison love. He said they only gonna get 2 field goals. 42-6. He said both on field goals. C-Rod say 40-10. Okay.
Real talk. When I make predictions now, I'm being honest with you. That because they're gonna probably be scored on the second and third team.
Yeah. I can see that. I think this is gonna look like Oregon and South Carolina, man. I'm going with 49-7, man. I'm gonna give them a late touchdown with like 40 seconds left. With like 40 seconds left, you know what I'm saying? Look at Chef say inside the locker room after dark.
I tell you, this is gangster.
Hey, listen. Oh God, dog.
So I'm gonna post this to you guys. Let me ask you this right here.
Okay.
So right now at week 4, we know schedules are different, but we got to take this. At this point in time last year, both teams offensively we averaging 42 points a game. Defense heavy last year, offense heavy this year. Defense light this year. Defense, I say heavy last year and light this year. Mm-hmm. Point differential, at this point in time last year, we was giving up 5 points. Only 8 points now. Yep. So it's only a 3-point difference. Like without everything been going on at the end of the day, man, we still rocking and rolling.
We is, man. Dutch no mercy.
Damn.
40.
Let's go.
We gonna go up into Columbia and goose egg them dudes. Like, oh,
it's going to blank for when you got second and third teams.
Yep.
Hey, Nolan Smith said, if you on the field, you a starter, so don't give up no touchdowns.
It sounds good. It sounds great.
It's
the mentality.
hey, it starts here. You know
it does start there.
If a man thinketh, so shall he be, or something like that.
There we go. You almost had it, coach.
I almost got it out. Man, y'all tripping, man.
Hey, that's what's up, man. We ain't have no questions from the gallery. Everybody thinking like we thinking, man. We got to go ahead and show Mizzou who's still king of the SEC, man. Get in there, do our thing, get out, get back to Athens in one piece. No injuries. That's what I'm looking for. No injuries at all. Oh man, let's see what Shelby talking about here. Said they good for dropping a touchdown before crossing the goal.
Dropping the ball. Oh, come on.
Oh yeah, that's a bad loss. Yeah, that was a bad loss. That's a hard way to lose right there.
That's terrible way to lose,
that's
bro.
Like. So we kind of touched on it Saturday, Charlotte. Like he had that killer mentality though. Technically, he could have just went out at the 2, had the first down,
No,
four shots, but he had that killer mentality. He was trying to go for the score though.
Hey, coach, I'm not trying to be brutal. I'm just speaking my mind. I don't know everything, nothing like that. But this is what I'm saying. Like I was telling you, that guy, like, when you make plays and do things like that, you're not going to get on the field at Georgia. You're just not going to get on the field. You're not. And that's what I was trying to tell you about, like, the way our foundation is and the way we do things. Like, you saw 3 turnovers from us this past week. When the last time you seen something like that? I'm just saying, if you're not on your P's and Q's, if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, you can't play at UGA. That's just our standard. So when we have those conversations, I'm sorry because I be speaking from a higher standard.
Which is what that's what like. So Shawty Joe, everybody that don't know, I do a college football wrap up on Saturdays. Live stream. Everybody welcome to join in. But that's what Shawty was asking an Arkansas fan. Like he was basically like, you think Sam Pittman the guy, and it ended up being like he's like, yeah, Sam Pittman is the guy. And then Shorty's like, well, he ain't gonna take you to no natty. And then that's what we had to differentiate, like Shorty just said, the levels to this thing. Like when Shorty talking, he talking natty. And I was like, we can do that here, but at Arkansas, it's just give me 10 games.
Right.
You the guy, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we do have a question from the gallery, man. Dutch say, do we think Monken takes one of the opens, Nebraska, Georgia Tech? Dutch, I do not think he's going to take Georgia Tech. It's kind of like Dion. I don't know if y'all seen
Neither one of them.
Neither one of them.
They asked Dion about I want to say Auburn because that dude about to get chopped off. And he was like, why would I take any of them jobs? He was like, if I can go for 2 to 3 years of disappointment, if I want some disappointment, I can watch Florida play football. I was like, Dion taking shots at everybody.
Damn.
That's hard.
Wow.
He ain't even trying to get the Florida State job, but he still took the shot at Florida.
Take it, yeah.
I respect that. That's bigger than that.
And I think that'll change in about 3 to 4 years. Once his kids are gone, I think that may change.
I think once his kids gone, he might look, but like one of my homeboys told me sometimes a coordinator job at a certain school is better than a head coach job at another school. Like being Ty Monken,
taking up a head job, he ain't going nowhere.
But like in Ty Monken's case, Ty Monken don't care to recruit. He just want to do X's and O's, baby.
Yep.
And that's why he can just go to Kirby and say, "Hey, man, I need this at quarterback. I need this at wide receiver. And I need this at running back. Can you do that for me?" Kirby said, "I got you, dog." And then he just closed the deal. He go to Georgia Tech. Now he got to do all that. I don't know.
He ain't doing that. If he leave, he going to the NFL. He don't want to recruit.
That's what I think. I think he does something like that. So
yep.
I'm gonna tell you what, if he do leave, I do like Bobo as an OC. So
we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Yep.
Oh, come on. You know, waiting in the wings.
Yeah. So
he capped on the shoulder.
Yeah.
Well,
he said, "Hey, that job don't look that bad, dog." He trying to get him out of there. No, that's what Bobo telling him.
Trying to get him up out of there.
Hey, if it was me, dog, it ain't me though. If it was me, I'm just saying that's what he.
But just like when we lost Lanning, and you just have, you got Muschamp waiting in the wings. Dude, there is no drop off. You know what I'm saying? We just keep rolling. So it'd be the same thing on offense.
Hey, and at the end of the day, it don't matter no way. Call Kirby the defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
No matter who you got, Dan Manning or Muschamp or
Yeah, it ain't that.
Yeah.
They might have the title, but you know how it go.
I know.
Yeah, Stat guy. The answer to your question, you asked about practice coming off a win like last week. I think it's gonna be less like the one coming off of Sanford. It's a teaching moment. You get you back to the standard. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Kirby tried to make practice harder than the game, so when you get to the game, you don't really worry about it. You know what I'm saying? So let's see. Shelby say nobody wants Tech, and that's the level of petty.
And with Deion, y'all, I just don't.
I'll be honest. If I was a coordinator, I wouldn't go to Tech. That's a setup to me.
I don't see Deion just taking a job just to take a job. I mean, you know what I'm saying? He has enough leverage where I just stay where I'm at, or just something that he just can't say no to. But he ain't taking no damn Tech job. If something like, I could see him taking something like USC or something like that, something. But no.
They're gonna have to.
But I think
the thing with Deion, man, is this right here. Like I said, the main thing, he has the cachet. He can go where he want to go. Because at the end of the day, where he goes, he's going to get the resources. Even if you don't care if he's a good coach or not, he can hire a great staff around him. The main thing is he's going to be able to get the players.
It's always about
he ain't coaching a lot now. He just, he's bringing the guys in. He can motivate you. You're going to understand your goals in front of you because he can communicate that properly. He can also let you know if you belong or not. It's a real fine line he can walk that most can't. Going to Georgia Tech don't do nothing for him. He needs a position that's going to give him longevity and the platform and the flexibility. Then you got to build a winner if you go somewhere. So I don't know if he want to do that. Hell no. I mean,
that ain't
Tech. Wherever he go, he gonna demand that the resource to be put behind
top tier.
Damn right.
And see, and because of that, I don't. That would be another reason why he don't go to Tech. Tech only gonna give you so much. They're like, wait a minute.
They're not
paying 6 head coaches right now. They got a laundry list. But man, I think Paul Hewitt still getting money.
He's still getting Tech.
Tech like we just want to get 8 wins.
Resources. The top. Listen, this is a tough line. But the top players ain't gonna go there no way. Even if they go there, once again, because you got to pad class.
It's a whole other talk.
That's what I'm saying.
You're right though.
Different, man. When you go to Tech, it ain't really about football.
So basically, what we saying, look, Georgia Tech, get that off your plate.
Yeah, go.
Leave that alone. That ain't even coming down the pipe. That ain't real.
This is another thing I told Sean, and me and Sean discussed Saturday. Hey, so it's Georgia Tech, one of them schools. You just got to know, hey, this the limit. 8, 9 wins.
That's it.
It's some programs out there, man. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's
like saying
very unlikely, Coach.
He said Rick Pitino ain't coming to coach my basketball team, and y'all ain't getting Deion. It is what it is. We all got to hurt.
Them resources in the athletic department, that's huge to a success of a head coach, man.
Absolutely.
Huge.
Absolutely.
And Tech just gonna have they got a fundamental problem. That's what's they have a fundamental, they got a problem in their fundamentals. Is why it's gonna be hard for them to ever be successful.
Exactly. At this point, man, they gonna get another guy kind of like a Collins that think he believe outside his head, because a smart coach be like, I'm not taking that job when we got Georgia right up the street, dog. I gotta battle them every year, like in recruiting and games. Like, nah, I don't want none of that. Like, why would I do that?
Why would I do that? Right.
But you got a guy like a Jeff Collins who not all there. He like, I can do it. Like, no, you can't. You only won 6 games in Bobby Dodd, and Mark Richt won more games in Bobby Dodd than you did.
Well, Georgia Tech done fired my 2 favorite coaches here in the last couple of years, man. Goodness gracious. Paul Johnson and Collins. Y'all, come on, Tech. let these boys ride.
Oh, man, I kept y'all on here long enough, man. Hey. Shout out to all the dogs in the comments, man. We appreciate y'all rocking with us once again, man. Don't forget to tune in next Tuesday, man. 8 o'clock, same time, same place, same back channel, man. From my guy Thad, E-Rob, CA, man. Coach out of Fan. We out of here.
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.